It was something that we sort of knew anyway. Watching this Florida State team practice for the last month, listening to how Mike Norvell and the rest of the Seminoles coaches talked about their players, it seemed pretty clear they really liked their football team. On Monday, as Norvell and his three coordinators talked about the end of the preseason and looked ahead to Sunday's season opener against number 5 LSU, it crystallized for me. These coaches don't just like this team, they're in love with it. Like over the moon in love. Like I was with my high school girlfriend in love. Let's hope this one ends better than that relationship did, by the way. She knows what she did. But still, the point remains. There is some real affection, earned affection, coming from these coaches as they talk about the most talented Florida State team in a good long while. Been a really, really good fall camp, Norvell said on Monday. Really proud of our football team. Just the work that they put in, it all stretches back to January when we started to push, to progress, to improve to get to this point. We talk a lot about the identity of a team. I see one that, like I said, has a great work ethic, really care about each other. They pushed and competed throughout. We still need every rep and every minute leading up to kickoff to continue to get better, to be ready for Sunday night. But so excited to be on this stage. Opportunity to showcase our players, obviously this wonderful institution. That quote was telling enough in itself. But later on, when defensive coordinator Adam Fuller spoke, I thought we got even more insight into what these coaches think they're a part of heading into Sunday night. It's not just that this is the most talented and experienced team Norvell and Fuller have ever been around. It's that it competes in a way that has these coaches super impressed. Said Fuller, Coach Norvell has probably expressed this, and I'll reiterate, this is one of the better camps that we've ever been a part of. I think because of the mindset of the players, the amount of returning players we've had, but then what that does for one-on-one competition day in and day out. It's not one side of the ball. It's not one position group. It's been a battle. I think that will really sharpen us for game one and sharpen us for the season because that's what it's about. Here's an example. LSU has a terrific wide receiver in Malik Neighbors. He caught 72 passes last year for 1,000 yards, and he's a preseason All-SEC selection this season. But I can promise you there's no way, zero chance, that the Florida State defensive backs are going to be shaking in their cleats when they're lighting up against them on Sunday night. They've had to go up against Keon Coleman and Johnny Wilson all camp, for heaven's sake. Neighbors is going to make some plays because he's really good, and that's what good receivers do. But the Florida State DBs have gotten the best prep they could possibly get over this last month. The offensive line, meanwhile, has had to deal with Braden Fisk, Jared Verse and company. The young defensive linemen have had to compete with the most experienced offensive front in college football history. The receivers had to battle Renardo Green and Azarie Thomas and Shaheem Brown and Greedy Vance and a bunch of other quality defensive backs. The linebackers have had to cover Jaheim Bell and Kyle Morlock. And the entire defense has been tested by Jordan Travis every day. I can tell you from firsthand experience, from watching this team practice virtually every day, that the competition level has been raised to an elite level. Does that mean this team is going to win a national championship? Of course not. It doesn't even mean it's going to win Sunday night. But these coaches, having lived through the COVID nightmare season, and then the horde start to 2021, with a roster that frankly just didn't belong in Tallahassee, now has the pieces in place. They have an experienced team, a veteran team, a talented team, with real difference makers all over the field. And best of all, it's a team that works hard and competes. That's why Norvell and company are so enamored with this team as we head into September. I think a lot of it just has to do with the maturity with which we handled our business, said special teams coordinator John Papuchis. Guys showed up. They showed up to work every day. They played hard throughout. You know, we track everything, so that just the explosive movements, how hard guys practice, and all that GPS monitoring we do reflected the fact that the guys were working. But it wasn't just what was happening on the field. It was the way in which they approached the meeting room, the way they handled themselves within the building. There was just a very mature approach to the camp, and I thought the guys handled it really, really well, which gives us a chance going into game week to be in the best position we could possibly be in. Ah, young love. There's really nothing sweeter, is there? In truth, none of us know how this season is going to play out. None of us even know how this next month is going to play out. We'll see. But man, when you listen to these coaches talk, you start to think that maybe 2023 can be special. And maybe, just maybe, this team is the one.